Hey everybody, I am live and I don't know if you can actually, so StreamYard was having a sale, I guess. Everybody's having a sale with this whole Black Friday thing. And so I upgraded to their plan. So I am streaming on my Facebook channel and I am streaming to my YouTube channel. So if you're a Facebook user, you can use it on, see me on Facebook, or you can come check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you go check out in the comments. I'll have my YouTube channel or my Facebook and YouTube, right? So anyway, yeah, come check it out and you can see what I'm up to. So let's see, for today, I think my topic was, is KDP and Amazon worth it? So I saw a lot of, I don't know, it's probably hype stuff. So I thought I might join the hype stuff, right? And everyone was hyping like, oh, is KDP dead? Can you not make money? All that sort of stuff. And so my answer is yes, KDP is still worth it. Do I still make money? Yes. So I made double in November what I made last year. So, hey, Ellie. So yes, happy Q4. So I was so excited when November 30th closed out and I had made pretty close to double. So it was really close. I only needed like $50 more or something to hit double. But I was really excited about that. And it goes to show that no, KDP isn't dead. Yes, there are niches still out there. Do you have to be creative? Do you have to be interesting? Yes. Hello, RJ. And so you have to do stuff, right? Okay. Anyway, so Q4 has been great to me so far. I hope Q4 is treating you well. And I totally think KDP is worth it. I actually had some questions from my viewers. So I was going to go over those a little later too. But I wanted to put a little bit in perspective too. So, I've got to mention, I have a course. Someone asked me, Corbin actually asked me if I, from Self-Publishing Titans, if I have a course. I do. So let me tell you about it. $29. It's always been $29. It's a total deal. It's got, especially if you use PowerPoint, it's got some awesome software. I call it software, but it's like a macros and templates that you can use to make your books a lot faster. It's really, really, really cool. KDP is an opportunity or is it dead? People are ready to wait. That's true. That's true. So if you're using Facebook, I can't see who you are just because StreamYard, unless you let it see who your name is. I can't see it. So Facebook user, that is true. It is dead if you believe it is, and it is a fabulous opportunity to make a passive income. So it makes me so happy to create something. I put on my thankful page that I'm thankful to be able to do something I love and help other people while doing it, right? Because I love doing this. I love making books. I love solving people's problems. Anyway, all right. So, yep, my November is going well. I'm seeing awesome numbers for December. I woke up this morning and was like, holy cow, it's day 2 and December is looking awesome. Oh, hey, Chris. Oh, hi. Anyway, so, oh yeah, I had a $29 course. It's in the show notes. See, I can't keep on. RJ's from India and not in English language, grammar at all. It is a problem, but you can do a few things. One, you could hire somebody to kind of check over your grammar, which you could probably do that, or just be very simplistic in the way you describe stuff, right? Because if it's just a little bit of an error, most English users will they'll probably just take it as a typo. But if there's consistent errors, then you're going to find something. I have some planners in Spanish, and so my daughter's taking Spanish. I had her read through it, but I made them very, very, very simple. Like, right, I made sure it was really simple so that I wasn't having to deal with a lot of grammar. So if that makes sense, hopefully that can be helpful for you. So I was doing stuff in Spanish, and so I know what you mean. Doing it in a different language is harder, but I tried to make it very simple so that it would be, so I wouldn't have to worry about the grammar as much. All right. So here's what I wanted to do, because I wanted to put this whole is KDP dead in perspective and how much you make and all that stuff. So I did a little bit of research and I looked at how much does it take to make $500 a month from stock dividends. So if some of you are into stocks, I know stock investing is a big thing because that's passive income, right? And this is what hopefully KDP is to you, passive income. So I did some looking into it. And so for $500 a month, at a 3%, which is pretty typical for stock dividends, you have to invest $66,667, right? 66,000 change dollars. And that's what $500 is equivalent in passive income. And I think $500 is so easily doable. I know it takes work and I know it takes practice. It's practice meaning that you have to understand what you're doing and keep doing it and then keep improving. All right, so I wanted to go on to my questions. So one of my viewers sent in the little form I have. You can send in questions if you want, and I'll answer them on the air live or in my Facebook group or whatever. But I have a form you can see on the show notes and check it out. So it says that they actually are in France and they have a Facebook group for people in France doing low content. And their questions in the business of KDP low content, what is your favorite niche? Okay, my favorite niche is the kid niche. That's because I have 4 daughters. So I get kids, right? They like color, they like bold, so I kind of follow what trends they're into. So I know they're currently into Among Us, and I know Among Us is big on KDP, but don't do it. Don't put journals up there. I know people are selling, but they're going to get kicked off KDP, and don't do that. So, but I kind of follow their trends, and then I make stuff that they and their friends would enjoy. I make stuff that I kind of do a lot of kid niche stuff because I have kids and I understand that niche, if you will. So my favorite thing is kids, and kids, there's so many things in the kid area. You can take adult stuff and make it for kids, like gratitude journals were big. I made a few teen gratitude journals and those sell. Not as well, but I probably need to advertise them more to get them selling, but they do sell every single month. So you can take something that's maybe big in the adult world and re-niche it down into the kid version of it, or teen version or tween or something like that. So my favorite niche is kids, but that's pretty broad, right? What do you think is the key to success on Amazon? Okay. And it's almost the same secret so her number 4 question was, do you have a secret for your KDP business? They're going to be the same answer. Okay. What is my secret? And it's not even a really secret. Treat it as a business. Yes, I know. Just life-changing there, right? So no, you have to treat KDP as a business. Now, what do business owners do? Okay, what makes them successful? Well, what does successful business owners do, right? They look at the market. They do market research. They decide, okay, here's a niche I'm going to exploit, basically. I'm going to put stuff into, and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to treat it like a business. I'm going to put assets in. I'm going to do research. I'm not going to just throw things at the wall and hope it works. Have you guys ever seen, some of you maybe, Marcus Lemonis, what is it called? Where he goes into the businesses and he revamps them. The Profit, that's what it is. It's a great show because there's like a lot of times he goes in to help people in their business, their brick and mortar business, like clothes or something. And what he finds is why they're not making money is because they've literally just bought a bunch of junk with no research, threw it on the floor, crossed their fingers, and hoped it worked. You can do that with your KDP business. Lucky for you, it's free. It does take time, but you can do that. I don't suggest it because you're going to get frustrated. You're going to be that person who says, I saw in a group today, I have 500 books up and I haven't sold one, right? Well, they haven't sold one because they just threw stuff up there. Now, if you're just beginning and you're just starting, sure, throw a few things up there. Maybe throw them up for you, throw them up for a friend, whatever, just to learn the process. But think of it as, I'm not going to make money doing this in that sense, just throwing things up there. I'm learning the process. And that's fine, because a lot of people say, I don't know where to start. Well, just start somewhere, learn one thing, and then go on and just put something up there. Learn something else, go up there and improve every single time. And that's fine, because that's not trying to make money at that time. That's trying to learn the platform. That's trying to learn KDP. That's learning the business, right? And that's acceptable. But just when you've got it, don't just start throwing junk up there. So my secret to KDP is research. I like kid stuff. I do adult stuff too. So actually, two of my Christmas things that are my best sellers for this whole season are adult things, but the rest is all kids. Most of my stuff, like 80%, is kid stuff. So I look at what things my kids like, and then I start solving a problem. So that's that business aspect. I say, okay, what problem is there out there? I have one niche that my kids really love, but I want to say it's kind of, most of the stuff out there is racy, meaning that it's a little bit provocative, and I would never let my kids buy it. So I made a less provocative version of it, and it sells like crazy because it's targeted. Kind of what I actually did is I targeted this at moms and grandmas buying this for their daughter, right? Moms and grandmas are not going to buy stuff with like half naked girls on it for their daughter. They're not going to do it. So I made something that I would be okay with my daughter having, and it sells really, really well. So that was a problem I saw in a particular market my kids liked. And so you can do that sort of stuff. Look at what's out there and find a problem. So I'm always about business owners who do well, solve a problem. They help people, okay? And that's why people are happy to buy from them and want to buy from them. All right, so Neroboat Mom, hi from the UK. I lived in the UK for a while, for a year and a half. So I lived by Newmarket. Let's see. Okay, so another question on here was, what tools or sites do you need to find the best niches? Amazon. Amazon's a great place to start. It's free. And yes, all the data is there. You have to search for it. So I do like Self-Publishing Titans. Amazon Suggestion Amazon Suggestion Expander is another good one. The Self-Titans, they have two. They have the suggestion. They have one that you can download. They also have one where it gives you like, it's an SEO tool. So check them out. I use BookBolt as well. They have some great stuff sometimes I kind of get in my own head and I can't decide what I'm doing. So I use different tools. But if you're just going for free at the beginning, Amazon, and then the free extensions, AMZ Expander is good. The Self-Publishing Titans, theirs are great. And you just start digging into the numbers and digging in and understanding what people are buying, why they're buying it. And you have to think about it. I said last week that people, I saw someone in the niche that I'm in that totally didn't get the niche at all. And they threw something up there. It's not worded correctly. It's got the right keywords, but the cover is off. The title is off. The interior makes no sense for the niche. So what they did is they said, ooh, here's a niche that's selling well. I'm just going to put a book up there and hope it sells. Well, that's great. But I'm telling you, anyone who purchases that book is going to be upset because it's not what they thought it was. So it doesn't do you any good to throw stuff out there without thinking about it, without putting some effort into it, treating it like a business, right? If you had to pay $5 to put your book up there, would you put it up there? I mean, maybe that should be a standard to decide, should I put this up here or not? Now, if you're just trying something and saying, hey, I think this might work, let's try it. Sure, go ahead. But remember, you are spending your time, and your time, you should put a value on your time. So if that number is $5 a book for you, say, okay, if I had to pay $5 of my time even, would I put that out there? Would I spend $5 of my time to do it? Set some kind of standards and things for yourself once you get further along. Once you're just learning, if you're doing something to learn, go for it. Put it up there to learn, but it's a learning thing, not a money thing at that point in time of your business, right? So you've got to have different goals. Okay, let's see. Any other questions in here? What tools or sites? Yeah, so that was kind of the questions. from, I think it's Buja. I think I said that right. And so I hope those were helpful answers. Does anyone else have questions? Anyone else have anything else they want to talk about today? I'm excited to see 6 people live. I think it's because I did it on my Facebook group today. So I'm excited about that. I don't have anything too much else. I did want to talk about the highs and lows of Q4, right? The highs are the numbers, right? The numbers. The lows are that times to go through if you're doing low content books, and actually even content books, it slows down a lot. End of November to December. It's for a low content book. I think I just had an update. I can't remember what I updated on a low content book. It was just something, it was the keywords. I literally updated the keywords, and it took 7 days to go through for those updates. The original one was still live, but the updates took 7 days to get approved. So things just run really, really slow. It's one of the reasons I told everyone that I put my planners up starting in October. So I put all my planners up and I finished by October 31st. I did my Spanish planners. I think I did those the first week in November because I kind of forgot I had them. I forgot to put them up. I had them done. I just forgot to put them up. But I try and get a lot of stuff, pretty much anything I really want there for Christmas or the Q4 season, I want it done by October. So that's kind of the lows. I know everyone's like, oh, I'm not going to get it in. I'm putting in, it's taking 10 days. What can I do to make it faster? Not much. Higher content books, like books with words, coloring books, picture books, that sort of stuff, are taking, it depends, but I've seen it up to 2 days, maybe 3 days around this time of year. But usually those go through a lot quicker. So that's just kind of the lows of this part of Q4. If you want something out, you want to put it out early. And if you're thinking planners, I know people are still putting up planners because they say, oh, January, right? Planners start selling in October. When I put mine on October, I was having sales. So don't think you're putting them out too early. You're probably putting them out too late. Hey, Mike, how are you? I think that's it. Does anyone else have any questions? I think I wanted to make sure I was done by 12:30 today. My daughter is 16 and she has her driver's test today. So, well, one of them, they do it in Virginia, for 7 days, they have to drive with an instructor. So I wanted to make sure she got off on her way, did the driving. So we have an old car for her to drive when she gets driving so that if she crashes it, she'll be okay. But the car, whatever. It's really old and that's okay. Oh, yes, you just made it, Mike. Any questions? I have 9 whole people watching, but that's all I have for today. I like to get out here and have questions. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's a pretty good driver. Thank you, Donna. She's not bad. She scares me still because they don't brake as fast as you want them to, right? You're pushing that imaginary brake, it's not there. They don't brake as soon as I would brake, or it makes me nervous, right? But she's getting better. I actually have driven with her the past week and I didn't yell anything. So that's good. Stop, don't hit the bus. Oh, she almost hit a school bus. It was bad. Well, luckily we were going 10 miles an hour. So it wasn't really all that bad, but still I was oh no, brake, what's that? Yeah, that's what teenagers brake. That's the brake. I know. Yeah, and you guys in England drive like crazy people on those little roads. It's 65 on those little roads. You guys are crazy. I've never, it was different driving in there, the US versus the UK, but I got used to it. It was good. Okay, so Cienza says, Sienna? I think so. I am learning the process. I took your advice in learning the process of making covers and sold a book. Now I need to individualize my interiors. Do you have any advice in making interiors that sell? Yes, interiors that sell. Add things. So one of the things I've added, so I have some like different logbooks, you know, camping, travel, all sorts of different stuff like that. And what I did to kind of individualize my interiors is I added like extra pages with words. Yes, I know, words. But like I just said, you know, here's how you could use this book and here's ideas. So for, you know, a hiking book, I looked up, you know, fun things to do while hiking, right? So I just Googled fun things to do while hiking. And then in my front page of one of the hiking books, I said, hey, here's, you know, some great fun things you can do while hiking, you know, just some ideas, or here's ideas of things to think about, or, you know, stuff like that. And I just added that. I had to add it in my own words, right? You can't copy or plagiarize someone's words. So there's no copying from an internet and putting it in. No, don't do that. But you can take the idea and then just write it yourself. You know, if the idea was, you know, hike to the top of a mountain and yell, I don't know, something, see if it happens. I don't know what the idea was, but you could write that obviously in your own words. So I did stuff like that. I also added in one of my hiking books, I added like a challenge, a hiking challenge. So at the very back of the book, I did like fun things they could color in when they've gotten to 100 miles of hiking. So for each 5 miles they hike, they got to color in, I think it was I did a road. And then I put it in, and I think was it a 500 challenge or a 1,000-mile challenge, something like that. I put a 500-mile challenge or a 1,000-mile challenge in the back of the book, and then I had them able to like mark off every 5 miles that they'd hiked, and then there was something cool at the end, right? So you can have like a journey. You can add something interesting or different to your pages that really don't take a lot of time. Things like that don't really take a lot of time, but they make it very personalized and interesting versus just your plain old logbook. That sort of stuff really does help sell. I get a lot of comments on some of my books that say, hey, great extra pages. I really enjoyed blah, blah, blah. There was one that I created that I thought was a great compliment. They had gotten it for their daughter, and it was aimed at a kids. It was aimed at a kids thing, but they said it was so much fun and had so many extras that they ordered one for themselves as an adult. So I thought that was a great compliment. So adding kind of those extra things is a good idea. Sometimes how I get ideas is I'll go to the library or a bookstore and I'll just flip through a book that's sort of related to my niche and then see kind of what things are in there. And I'll get ideas from that sort of thing. So I'm always looking for ideas. Pinterest is one of my favorite places to go get ideas for interiors. I'll type in some keywords that are sort of related, and then I look at the pictures. And the pictures a lot of times will give me great ideas for interiors because kids like, you know, rainbows and unicorns and all that sort of stuff. So I'll add kind of some of that stuff to my interiors and things like that. So yeah, I like to use Pinterest. I like to use the library. I like to just kind of look out there and just gather ideas and then create my own version of it that fits what I'm doing. Let's see. Mike says Mildenhall hasn't changed, but we do have a dual carriageway from Thereford to Newmarket now. Oh, is there? I love how it's called the dual carriageway. That's awesome. Like that would be like everyone in the US would be like, what is a dual carriageway? So let's see. So would you create a different over for adults than sure. Over for adults after that compliment? Oh, yeah. So I do have, you know, that is a good idea. I have not thought of actually making an adult version of that kid's book. I could, I guess. It's got a lot of coloring pages in it too. It's kind of an activity book sort of with information. It's kind of this all in one thing. But I could. I haven't thought of it yet. But that's a good idea. See, I'm getting ideas from you guys. It's all kind of what you decide to do. Do they see that look inside area before they purchase it so they know to buy it? So look inside. There's a few things about look inside. One, you can put screenshots of your pages and put them on the back so they can see a few of your pages. Two, you can actually email Amazon and ask them to increase the amount of look inside. Remember, mobile users, if they're actually using the app, they can't see or use the look inside feature. So adding those screenshots to the back page is a good idea. And then for the you just have to email Amazon to have the look inside feature expanded. I think it's up to like 30% or 40% you can ask them. You can ask them for whatever you want up to that. So if you want 20% more included, you can just email them and say, here's the ASIN for the book, here's the book title, and I would like the look inside feature increased to 30% or something like that, and they'll do it. It might take a while, but they'll do it. Let's see. What area? So yeah, those are the two things we'll look inside. And look inside sometimes takes a while. Let's see. Mike's talking about lanes, 2 lanes each way. Norfolk is still missing a motorway. You guys on motorways are funny because the US drive like crazy people on the motorways. And then on 2-lane roads, we're a little more hesitant, where you guys are totally the opposite way. You drive like crazy people on the 2-lane roads, and then you're very hesitant on the motorways, or at least when I was there, it was that way. All right. So Facebook user, how do you test brand new concepts that people intentionally not searching for, but related concepts out there? Ooh, okay. I kind of have advertising. That's how I test those types of things. So if I know that someone, and it works better the more specific you are. So for example, we were talking about memory loss, like puzzle and logic games for people with memory loss, right? So maybe you're targeting specifically people with Alzheimer's or a certain type of memory loss. Then you can target people with just maybe seniors or memory loss and seniors, and that sort of thing. There's cards, like there's games, actual physical games, and there's books, So what you could do is you could actually use advertising, your AMS, to target specific, because you don't have to just target books, remember, you can target anything. So you can target like specific games of names. Like if you know a certain adult's memory card game is selling really, really well on Amazon, you could actually use AMS and target that specific game. And so that you would end up on that product page. When someone's looking at that product page, they see your book and below, and they might think, oh, this, and you want to make sure it's kind of similar, right? It would be the same type thing. That way they would maybe think, oh, I could buy these cards in this book. Or they might go, hey, this book is only $7 and this game's $20. I think I might try this book because it's cheaper, right? So that's a really great way. And when you target focused words like that, like specific products, or you're very specific, your advertising costs are really, really, really low. So that can help. So you can kind of test and do things like that by advertising. Do you actually put snapshots of your interiors on your back cover? Yes, I do. Sometimes I don't. Why don't I? Sometimes because I'm lazy and I forgot. I will admit to that. But other times when I know, okay, I know. So sometimes it's not that I'm lazy. I have this one book. It's very pretty. Okay, so it's really, even the back is pretty. I did 2 overlays with like a silver and writing, and it's pretty. Okay, so I did not want to mess up my pretty background because it's supposed to be for a female and it's supposed to be pretty, right? So I did not put interior shots on the back. So what I did do is I went and plastered all the pages on Pinterest, and then I did different Pinterest ads for the pages, not ads, Pinterest pins for the pages, and I am seeing clicks that go directly from Pinterest, and it looks like they're purchasing the product. So I saw that. So I'm using Pinterest as a way to kind of show individual pages because that particular item, it was pretty and I didn't want it to be not pretty. But for kids stuff, oh yeah, I definitely take screenshots of the pictures and stick them on the back because kids, they don't care if it's pretty. Yes, AMS you can do some cool stuff with AMS if you are creative. But like anything, it takes time or money, right? You have to put a little bit of money into it. It's not a lot, actually, if you're being very targeted, but you have to put a little time and be creative. But that's some of the ways I've launched some of my products so I can get them to have a BSR and they sell organically. I use some interesting and creative AMS advertising. You just have to be creative, right? Which is kind of easier said than done. But sometimes you just have to think, okay, who would buy this product? That's that part about treating it like a business, right? People who are trying to solve a problem look at who their target audience is, and they say, okay, what do they buy? Where do they shop? What do they do? What things are they interested in? And if you do those sort of things and kind of think like your buyer, that's where you can kind of utilize that information and put it into AMS. Dumb question. Can we use both sides of the pages? I don't know what your question is, Mike. Can we use both sides? Like the front and back of the page? Yes. Like if it's a coloring book for kids, honestly, I don't think they care. Unless it's supposed to be a pretty specialized coloring book. You can put stuff on the front and back, just like normal coloring books. Because most kids, I wouldn't give kids markers. I'd give kids crayons, and crayons don't bleed through the page. So yes, I do front and back. For other stuff, adult coloring books, probably not, because they actually might want to use markers. A journal type book, yeah, I do front and back. Gel pens will sometimes leak through. You can definitely see them, but they don't necessarily leak through unless you hold it on the page, which is kind of true with any sort of paper. Even really, really thick cardboard, I've had a gel pen, if I let it sit there, leak through to the other side. So that's kind of true of anything. But generally, if you're just using pens, or even you're using, I have this gel pen here, if you're not like pressing into it, I have a lot of my own books, not a lot, but a few, and I've, gone through them, and pens work fine. So yes, on both sides of the paper. Let's see. I mean, heck, I have this little book. This isn't one. I got this at Walmart for like whatever. But yeah, this is that gel pen, and the paper they use in KDP is nicer than this. So I think it's fine. Let's see. Gosh, so many questions. Okay, wow, it's like busy today. What is AMS? AMS is Amazon advertising. It is their advertising platform. You can get to it very easily through KDP. So if you're looking at your bookshelf, you have your book listed, and there's like the 3 dots, right? The 3 ellipses, and it's on the right-hand side. If you click that, it'll say like advertise your book. That is one way to get in. You can actually get in through, I always just type AMS, and my thing knows where to take me. But if you just type in Google AMS or Amazon advertising, you can get to the account from there as well. But the easy way, if you're a little unsure, is you can actually get to it through your KDP bookshelf. And the way is just the bookshelf, like I said, the 3 little dots. And if you're going to start advertising small. I have videos in my Facebook group and on my YouTube channel. Check those out. Start small and test. I was just talking to someone on Messenger last night, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. She always watches. About AMS advertising. It's a game of patience. You have to learn it. You have to be willing to spend a little bit of money, but don't start off all gangbusters, because you'll just waste a lot of money if you do that. It's a slow learning process. You have to be creative. And like I said, if you know your target audience, you're going to be able to do those advertising costs much cheaper. Let's see. Do you have any advice on picking graphics and creative fabrica for your interiors? Target market, right? I look at like I said, I'd like to do kid stuff. So I have kids. I know what pretty things and little things they would like. So I just start, I'll look at Pinterest and kind of get some ideas in my head of things or graphics they might want. Like I just type, because what I love about Pinterest for research is it's very visual. And so I can type in a keyword or a niche or whatever I'm looking at, and it gives me a lot of visual pictures. And then what I start doing is I start saving a bunch of pins to a board, just for a visual reference for myself. And then I'll also start writing in a notebook, like, this type of thing likes unicorns and rainbows, and they like little hiking boots or whatever, right? Whatever pictorial things I get. And then I start typing those keywords into Creative Fabrica and getting stuff. And what I find is I have some designers or artists that I enjoy. And so I follow and favorite them so that I can refine some of their materials that I think are really good, or my audience would like. So that's kind of, I'm a visual approach. I search things visually. I just lost my pen. I search things visually, and then I try and nail, like, from those visual references, I start forming it into words. Does that make sense? I'm an engineer, so I'm a very visual person, and then I have to form all that down into numbers and words. I know some people work the other way. They work from words to visual pictures, but I'm a visual person and I go to words. So you've got to kind of know what your style is, and mine is visual to words. So that's why I start with Pinterest, so I can just get a visual representation, and then I start going to words, and those words will help me find keywords. Okay, let's see. How do you find long tail keywords? Amazon, this suggestion expander, and then the self-publishing titans, they have a suggestion expander as well. They're free Chrome extensions. So I get on Amazon, I start typing in a niche, and then the suggestion expanders will have things that'll pop up, and it'll say like, okay, so let's say I typed in, I don't know, memory loss for seniors, right? I did this one, I think, on one of my channels. So memory loss for seniors. And I think it said like memory loss for seniors with Alzheimer's, right? And then I'm like, ooh, that's a long tail keyword, right? Because that's pretty specific. Or memory loss games, or memory loss logic puzzles. So that's what I start doing. And then I can start changing that, like what other words are memory loss? So maybe forgetful. So you can even look in a thesaurus or for synonyms or similar phrases. Like if I'm stumped for a similar phrase, I'll even type the phrase into Google, and it'll sometimes jog my memory as to other things that are coming up. If you have keywords everywhere, I don't pay for it, but it is kind of helpful if you have keywords everywhere that shows up, and then it gives you some other suggestions for a word. Not as many if you're using the free, but that's helpful for me just to kind of jog my memory as far as other words that work. How do I get ideas for Amazon Key? Okay, this is a funny one, because when you're starting, this is like the problem. You can't come up with an idea. And then once you've done this for a while, there are so many ideas. I have a list of like 1,000 ideas. Some of the things I'll never get to. Some of the things aren't good ideas. It's just, how do I get ideas? I start with something I know, kids, right? So I'll type in kids, and then maybe I'll type in like pink, or just a word. I'll look around and start looking at things, and start, I don't even know how do you once you start doing it, it's hard to get started. Coming up with ideas, but once you get started, it's like you can't stop. You just start coming up. You'll see things everywhere around you. You're like, oh, that would be a book. That could be a book. Going out to the library, I'll look for stuff on Pinterest just to kind of think of ideas. Sometimes, okay, so one of the things I was doing the other day to jog my ideas. So I have a brand I have created that's doing really well. I'm really excited about this. It's the one I've built my Pinterest. If you've seen my videos on Pinterest, it's the one I've been doing Pinterest, which I have to make an update video. My Pinterest strategy has been working pretty good. I've been excited to see that there's been quite a few clicks and links and actual purchases via Etsy as well, because you can actually see that from Etsy. And it's also led to KDP as well. But so I was trying to find an extra brand for this. So I actually got on YouTube and looked at, what did I look up? I looked up like other digital product ideas. And so I was listening to this one girl who's talking about her 60 different digital product ideas. And so, yeah, I had to kind of listen through her whole spiel of 60 ideas. But I was like, ooh, 2 of those would be cool to mix with my brand. It's a total different concept from what hers was. Because it's mixing with the brand, but I kind of thought, okay, how could that general idea mix with this particular audience that I'm selling these type of items to? So yeah, once you get started, like the ideas just keep coming and coming, and there's just too many ideas. Mike says, yep, too many ideas, mostly good. Getting started is hard. New shiny objects. Yes, pick something and go with it. If you're worried about picking the wrong one, don't worry too much. Do some research. The self-publishing titans tool Chrome extension, if you have over I did a video on it on YouTube, over 63%, they say that's easy to be able to rank for those keywords. So, maybe just type in your keywords and see which one ranks really well, that gets you a good score, and start with that one. Just start. I was really worried because I like this new brand I've built out. It's very, very small. There's like, 2-3 million people in the whole world who do this thing, right? So I was a little like, maybe this is too small of a niche, but that's not true at all. Actually, I'm doing really well with this tiny little brand of my 2-3 million people, right? So and even what's funny is that the self-publishing titans, I looked on there, and for my keywords, it's like the numbers are kind of crappy. So I was still like, oh, am I going to do this? But I did it. I decided to do it because I was going to add Pinterest. I was going to add some strategies. I was going to make this whole brand, and it's working really well. So there's the numbers, and then there's kind of what are you going to do with it? What are you going to build with it? How am I going to build this business, right? Again, I'm thinking it as a business. That's why I kind of decided on this brand. I was a little concerned, but I thought I could build this if I decided to put some extras into it, not just throw it onto KDP and cross my fingers. So I built a website for it. I built, some things like if you have a mini course on how to build a mini website, that's exactly what I did. It's like $9 for the mini course. Exactly what I did for this brand. And I've gotten email signups. I've gotten, people clicking on my link. I've been sharing this with my friends who are interested in this particular subject, so it's been going well. So I just want to say that, you just have to kind of go through. I'm halfway through several. I know, isn't it the worst, Mike? I have a lot of those halfway through severals. And if you know me, I actually write young adult novels too. And I have one that it's literally half written and my poor character is dying and bleeding in the parking lot. He's been bleeding for like 2 years now, poor guy. One day, maybe I'll resurrect him and finish that young adult novel. But one day, it's just, I like writing, but it does take a lot of my brain power to be able to do it. Is it nice to go with a niche and 10 searches per month? Maybe, probably not, unless it's really unique. What if the question would be is not just 10 searches a month, but is anyone buying in that niche, right? So if you have people purchasing, then yes. If nobody is purchasing, so how do you know someone's purchasing if it has a BSR? So if there's a number that I would say 500,000 and below, then yes. If not, probably not. I've done a few of those that I've threw up there because they had low search volume and low people competition, and they sell sometimes like once a month. So was it worth it? I don't know. Maybe not. So no and yes, it just depends. That's why it's not just about searches. It's not just about keywords. It's like, are people purchasing in the niche? Do you understand that niche? Understanding your target market, right? Treat KDP like a business if you want to make money. The more I've had my own mantra and done that, the more money I have made. Sometimes I just want to try something, and I do. That's the one thing I do love about KDP. I will throw things up there because it was fun for me. But my expectation is that I probably won't make money with something like that. And that's okay because I did it because it was fun. If I kind of separate those two, I separate it from here's my business goals and my business aspirations versus I need a creative release. And yeah, I might make money on my creative release. That's great. But if I don't, I try not to be upset because it was for a different purpose. So sometimes separating those two can help too. Especially, yeah, I do get a little burnt out of things I'm doing. And so I switch projects. And that's why I have a lot of half-done, undone things. But I, most of the time, will get back to my projects. I have about, I have 6. Is it sad that I know how many I have of undone projects? I have 6 undone projects. And they eat at me. So maybe don't be like me. But yeah, so sometimes just understand what your goals are and how you want to go at things and treat it like a business. Understand your customers, understand your target market, so that you can, really give them a product they want. All right. Wow. We had lots of questions. I was going to be done by 12:30. I heard the person honk for her, so I think she went out there. I didn't get a phone call, so we're probably good. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Don't forget to like, subscribe, join my Facebook group if you haven't. It'll be in the comments. Check out my mini course for $9, publishwithashley.podia.com, but it should be in the show notes. And check out my $29 course. It's cool. It's cool. That's great promotion. I'm the worst salesman ever, but I do this because I enjoy you all and I enjoy doing this and I totally love what I do. And so I want other people to find that joy and excitement in their lives. Any free keyword for start. So like keywords, oh my gosh, there's so many that are good. Okay. So this time of year, you got to start looking towards January. And January is kind of a sad month in the sense of, unless you're doing the niche of New Year's resolutions, weight loss, weight planner, meal planners, generally planners 2021, budget planners. So if you're doing that sort of stuff, January isn't quite as depressing. So I guess start looking under planners if you're trying to come up with something that you want to put up in the next month. So you can go out there. So type in planners, and an easy way to start is you can type in planners on Amazon, planners space A, planners space B, and see kind of what, it suggests that are possible keywords that people are searching for, right? So Amazon will suggest words to you so you don't have to type the whole thing out. So you can start doing that. I kind of have all my 2021 planners up already because I said I'd start them in October. But yeah, planners are still viable. Homeschool planners, probably with the new semester coming up in January. Student planners, right? Student planners will be big again because new year, students will want to get organized. So start looking into student planners and then look for a specific niche within student planners. That's probably a good one. I'm so glad to share. You had no idea this was all going on. I do have all this going on. It's pretty crazy. I'm slow. So tell your friends, I guess, that I'm around. I have not that many people in my books or YouTube or anything, but that's cool because I just do this because I love it. So anything else? Anyone else have any questions, thoughts? How do undated planners sell? Okay, so the drawback of undated planners is what's the drawback? The drawback is you can't have that 2021 in the keyword, right? So that initially cuts your results, right? They're not looking for 2020 planners. The thing with undated planners is you have to find a niche, right? You have to make it specific to that niche. So how you do that, you start doing some research, look on Google, look on Pinterest, look on, maybe go to the Facebook pages for people who like the dot, what are they called? Bullet. You can't use bullet journal because that's trademark, and Bujo is also trademark. So don't use that. But those people who like that sort of stuff, have obsessions. So look and see what those obsessions are, join a few Facebook groups and just look, basically look and see what they talk about and what trends are in there. And that undated planners really have got to be niched. They've got to be niched down to something specific for them to sell. So that's kind of one way to do that. But yeah, the bullet journal people are crazy and have all sorts of crazy obsessions. So if you can find an obsession that they have and put an undated planner, I promise you there'll be somebody out there who's probably searching for it. So that's a good way to go for that sort of thing. And that's kind of like the market telling you what to create. Anything else? I've been talking for 50 minutes. I need some people on here, right? I feel funny talking by myself all the time, but I was thinking about doing interviews with people. So I have to go find some people to interview. I don't know who yet, but I will. Anyway, I'm so glad you all came today. I have 9 whole people. Thank you for being live with me. I'm sorry I'm a little scatterbrained, but this is who I am. This is me. But I do have lots of stuff in here. And often, if I'm not explaining it well, please let me know. Please ask questions, because sometimes I can see it in my head and I'm trying to communicate it to you, and it may or may not come out in a logical order. So just keep asking, be patient. Sometimes I don't know what you don't know, so explaining it's hard sometimes. But I hope this was helpful today. Not too bad considering, honestly, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. I wrote down some notes and was like, it's one of those days, like, you know, where you're just totally scattered. That's been kind of this whole week. But I am definitely going to go now. So I will talk to you all next week, back Wednesday of next week, noon Eastern time. That's -5, I guess, GMT time. So I will see you all next time. And let me know if you have questions. You can ask in my Facebook group. You can ask them on the forum, whatever you like. All right. Thanks so much. Bye. I can never find, so you guys get to see me try and hang up. Like, I can't find the end broadcast button. Bye.